Hello YouTube land and welcome to Joey Joe TV. This is my movie collection. And I got some DVDs, I got some Blu-rays, I got some VHS tapes. I got a few video games in here too. There's a few Nintendo 64 games. Several DVDs and Blu-rays back in there. There's a GameCube controller. I don't have a GameCube, but I have a Wii, which works great if you have the older Wii that took the GameCube controllers. I have, let's see, down here in the bottom I have a few VHS tapes. And there is, that's a black leather case full of some burnt DVDs that I was given to a long time ago. And let's go through a few of them, shall we? And I'll give a quick review. Here's a good one to start with. The almighty Creepshow. Get out of here, flashlight. Creepshow. From, damn that light, Stephen King and George Romero. Two of my favorite horror icons. George Romero, of course, the writer and director of the original Night of the Living Dead and the subsequent Living Dead trilogy / franchise. In my opinion, petered out after Diary of the Dead. I even like Land of the Dead, man. But hey, George Romero, go back to making good zombie movies. And Stephen King, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Stephen King. I've always been a huge fan of Stephen King. I've read most of his books. Most of his books up to, I don't know, a certain point. I stopped reading them around From a Buick 8. I didn't read that one, and I haven't really read any others. One book of his that pissed me off was Cell. And I tried to watch that movie, even though I didn't really like the book. I thought the book was okay, but I thought it had the most non-ending ending of an ending ever. But anyway, I'm giving away reviews of other things instead of what I hold in my hand, which is a masterpiece of horror. It is an anthology film, Creepshow. It's, what is it, 5 different stories, including with a wraparound story. And let's take a look at the packaging. It's the old school cardboard box type packaging that Warner Brothers used to use, where it just flaps open there. You don't have a whole lot of plastic there except for right there on the where the disc lays. And there's old Stephen King himself as the Lonesome Geordie Verrill. That's one of the anthology stories in there, The Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrill. It's basically this guy, he's like a, I don't know, he's kind of like a redneck farmer guy or whatever, and like he sees a shooting star, like a meteor, like fall right on his property, so he goes and runs and tries to get it, and he pours water on it because it's hot. It burnt his fingers, and like it splits open. That's a funny ass part of the movie. It's like the meteor splits open when he throws water on it to cool it off, and it starts oozing this blue stuff, and he gets it on his fingers, and he wipes his fingers on his bib overalls, and he says, "Meteor shit!" But that's a classic. Creepshow is classic. I love it. Father's Day, where's my cake, you dirty bitch? God, there's so many good stories in that. Oh man, Something That Tied You Over, where like the couple like gets caught cheating, like, you know, the girl's cheating on her husband, and like he finds out about it. It's Leslie Nielsen of all people, and he I don't know, man, he like makes them bury themselves up to their necks in the sand, and then the tide comes and like buries them, like drowns them, and then they come back as like water zombies after that. Sorry for the glare again. I suck at YouTubing. Let's see. Yeah, there is, if I can't see, I'll point to it with the laser, see? No, there is Leslie Nielsen. Yeah, that's Frank Drebin himself, burying Ted Danson from Cheers up to his neck because he caught him cheating with his wife. And then he's going to bury him in the sand until he gets drowned by the tide coming in. And that is the dirty bitch who didn't give her dad a Father's Day cake. And that, well, the backstory of that is she didn't give him a Father's Day cake. Instead, she murdered him because she was sick and tired of hearing him rant and rave about a damn Father's Day cake. Who the hell ever heard of a Father's Day cake anyway? And so, she kills him with an ashtray, bashes his brains in, and like he comes back, like, what is it? I don't know. It's supposed to be like 7 years later or something. He comes back out of the ground and like seeks revenge, and he rips one of their fucking heads off, and he says, now I got my cake. And then that guy, Mr. Pratt, and he's from the segment called They're Creeping Up on You, where it's all about cockroaches infesting this germaphobe's apartment. And like he's supposed to be this rich, crotchety old businessman guy, and like he hates bugs and germs and stuff, but like he gets infested with cockroaches. It's pretty sick. And it has interactive menus. That's awesome. Wow. But you have to press menu because it's one of the old Warner Brothers movies. Warner Brothers presents Creepshow. Recommended highly. Let's take another look at something else that's interesting. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you think it's interesting. Maybe you think it sucks. Whatever. Planet of the Apes. My newest addition to my collection. I know it's an old-ass movie, but hey, it's a good movie. Planet of the Apes, the original, with Charlton Heston. Not the Tim Burton remake with Mark Wahlberg. Even though a lot of people don't like that one, I actually like it. But this one is awesome. This one is classic. You can't deny Planet of the Apes' power. It's based on a novel. Haven't read it. Don't want to go into the differences because I have no idea what they could possibly be. Anyways, it's a crew of astronauts, and they are getting ready to go into a hypersleep because they're getting ready to go millions of light years away from Earth, so they think. Well, their ship crash lands on a planet, and even though they've just lived long enough to grow beards and stuff, and well, the female of them died. Her airlock in her space capsule broke, and she wound up like dying during the journey, and she was a mummy basically when they found her. But anyways, 3 scientists of the survivors land on a planet, and they basically determine that it's probably millions of years in the future because they've been asleep for however long according to the ship's log, but that is nothing in Earth time because they've been traveling at the speed of light, science. And so they wind up, on this planet where, like, all the humans are mute. They find humans and they're mute. But there's ape people that talk and try to hunt down the humans. So, I don't know. It's weird. If you've never seen the others, it's weird. The prequels are trying to explain it. I didn't really care for Dawn of Planet of the Apes. I liked Rise of the Planet of the Apes, but Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was, I just didn't really follow it. I didn't get into it. War for Planet of the Apes might be pretty good, but the original Planet of the Apes is awesome. It's an old school sci-fi film, and I do definitely recommend it. Let's see, what else we got here? We've got Rob Zombie's 31. And something that just fell on the floor. Rob Zombie's 31. 31, a Rob Zombie film. Death is the only escape. Damn you, Glare. Yeah, 31 is the story of they're a bunch of people that work for Carnival, and they are ending their season on Halloween night. They've packed up their gear, they're heading home, and a bunch of them are driving home in an RV together. And they get ambushed on their way home. There's like a roadblock, a man-made roadblock there. All roadblocks are man-made unless you're a beaver, I guess. But anyway, so there's a roadblock. They get out to investigate, and a bunch of them get stabbed in the night by a bunch of clowns. Out of nowhere, out of the forest, comes a bunch of clowns. Glary, glowing clowns. Look at them. But anyhow, they take them back to this place called Murder World, which was also a location in Marvel Comics, as I recall. But anyway, this is a world populated by murderous clowns. They're tasked to find all of the survivors who are trying to survive in this old abandoned warehouse slash factory slash slaughterhouse, whatever the hell this place is. And they're basically trying to just track them down and kill them. And it's a sick game being put on by these rich elite people that are all wearing like these like pre-Victorian like, you know, like powdered wigs and makeup on their faces, and like even Malcolm McDowell is like wearing like lipstick and white face and stuff, and like I don't know, it's a pretty awesome movie. It's creepy, it's cool, it's gory. I don't know why people hate on Rob Zombie's movies anymore. Like, yes, I'll admit Halloween 2, I didn't get Halloween 2 at first, but I watched it a second time on DVD, the unrated director's cut, and I liked it. I might tell you more about that one sometime, and all the other Rob Zombie films. But I'm a fan of Rob Zombie's movies. I hadn't been a fan of his music for a while, but the last album that he put out, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, Rob Zombie's back. I can't remember what the hell it was, but it's the one that has the song that goes, everybody, 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 everybody's fucking in the UFO. But I ought to know the title of that damn album, but I can't think of it. I mean, I listened the hell out of it last year when it came out, but it's awesome. Really good. I've seen him on tour. He's awesome. He puts on a hell of a show. I saw him at Halloween, and I actually got a Hershey bar that I saved for years and years until I decided, why am I saving a Hershey bar? And I threw it away. I mean, I wasn't going to eat it after, like, what, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it was? Hell, I don't know. Anyhow, 31. The runaway performance in this was by the guy who plays Doomhead. Can't think of that guy's name, but he's also in Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He always plays like a dorky kind of like guy that you don't really care for. Like he plays like in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, he plays that sick EMT worker that like wanted to bang a corpse, and that's a pretty horrible thing to think about. Anyways, Doomhead, he's Doomhead. That's Doomhead there, and I tell you what, Doomhead, that guy that played Doomhead himself in that movie was a better Joker than, hell, a lot of representations of the Joker that's out there. He was awesome. He was bloody, bloodthirsty. I mean, he was just such an icky person. When you see him on screen, even without his white face makeup, like, he's just, there's something about him. He just makes your skin crawl. He's an awesome character. It's a really cool ending. I like the ending. The ending was definitely like, I mean, at first you're like, wow, gosh, I wonder what happened. Why did he end it like that? And then you're like thinking, come on. It's obvious what happened. That was great. That's a great ending to that movie. After everything they show in that movie, there's like chainsaws going into guts and I mean, you know, blood and, I mean, gore and everything, man. It's awesome. Great old school hardcore horror film for the hardcore horror film lovers. And I don't care what you say. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I don't care. Look, it's got a Nazi midget on it. And I said midget and Nazi in the same sentence. If he's a Nazi, I'm calling him a midget. I don't care what the political correct thing is. You Nazi midget. Anyway, 31. Rob Zombie's 31. Go get it. Really great movie. Okay, so that's all the movies we're going to talk about today. Let me see if I can put this up here without knocking anything else down. There's my Wii remote and its corresponding controller to play old school games. So, you guys, take it easy. We'll do another one of these sometime. Peace.